3D nails have been so popular lately, but can you do them with regular polish? Welcome back to my series. I saw these nails and I have to have them, and short story long, we're gonna attempt some cherry nails because this is a trend I am actually on board with, and don't worry, this is not gonna be as complicated as those lime nails were. I'd tell you to start with a base coat, but you should already know that by now, and then we want to add a layer of this super neutral pinky polish, and once it's started to touch, we get to have some fun. Now, OPI's Make Em Jelly polishes are a true jelly. They're pigmented, which is what we want, but you can see the clear, almost glass-like transparency, which looks very juicy and delicious because it lets the light in, but it means you need to be a little careful about how you use it. The first coat is absolutely giving trust the process, but don't worry if you're new to jellies. They typically need at least a few coats to match what's in the bottle. I prefer to float a jelly polish on by keeping the brush parallel to the nail whenever possible, and I found that OPI in general tends to be really good at self-leveling, so just give her a minute. And you could absolutely just use a dotting tool for the cherries, but if you want to make them a little bit more realistic, what I like to do is make them wider than they are taller, and then just add this little kind of heart indent at the top. The hardest part of this whole thing is probably retracing the stems to layer up the green, but pro tip, if you twirl your nail art brush through the polish instead of just dipping it in, you won't have a huge glob on the bristles, and it's easier to paint. True story. I thought about leaving it at 2 coats, but decided to try 3 just to see how it looked, and yeah, that was the move. It's still really pigmented, but so clear. And of course, make sure you're giving your layers plenty of time to dry before we add top coat. These already look so good, and you could absolutely stop here, but if you want a little more passion, more energy, then you can go back in with a little bit of top coat. You do want to wait for it to dry down a little bit, just enough so that it balls up on the brush, but not so dry that it's getting stringy, and carefully apply that to your cherries. You can do this twice depending on how high you want them because it is going to slightly self-level as it dries. And hey chat, I think we did it. The 3D plus the jelly polish is such a cool effect. Let me know which version you prefer, but I still can't believe we pulled this off with regular polish. And I'm not usually a red polish girly, but these might have just changed my mind. And yeah, this is another set I don't want to have to take off.